Well. Quite a bullish move in the crypto markets. We've been kind of waiting for this for a little while, and the strong move upwards finally came. And do we have a reason to get overly excited? Maybe, but I think it's not a good strategy, right? So let's pull back a little bit and just kind of peel off the skin here and see, what happened and where we are, and where we might be going here. We are building, we were building the stage for a pretty strong move upwards. And in my previous videos, we've talked about this quite a few times, and just we're mentioning about how waves one and two, one and two, one and two can be followed by a very sharp move upwards, right? In a wave, third of a third, maybe sometimes third of a third of a third, right? Which is that meat that's on the trading bone. Most of the time, that's where the gains are. And I think in my previous video where I talked what are the best trading setups in Elliott, I was explaining how this third wave, it's where the opportunities are. And we were lucky enough, and the market kind of responded to our count and moved sharply higher. So just a basic review from our, let's say 6-hour chart, and let's just go to a daily on Bitcoin. We had 1, 2, which is the beginning of the, let's say, the new bull market or the new uptrend in Bitcoin after this lows on December 14. So we were watching the development of wave 1, 2, and we were just kind of going slowly into developing this third wave up. Okay, go back to nicely you can see here how we kind of punched through the trend line, which is good news. So back to the 6-hour chart, you can see that's the low of that wave 2, right here. Okay, and then we're having this wave blue 1, which we monitored. We pulled back in 2, thinking maybe we were going to be lower. The market stopped. So now we are in the middle of this third wave blue. This third wave blue is subdivides into this other wave, which is this, I think is this green wave here, right? Which is this leading diagonal into 1, 2, and then we're moving up in 3. So I think we're still in the middle of finishing up this third wave green right here. This one nicely subdivided subdivides into this 5 waves here, where we had this small wave 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We pulled back in a very shallow 2, which was, worrying a little bit for me. And I said, if this comes back and it doesn't have a lot of strength to pull back, that creates a really good trampoline for going up higher. So we don't know if this, and this is very normal, right? We don't know where this wave 3, red or orange, it's going to end. I'm not even going to go below the 6-hour chart. I don't think it's worth it, right? Because I want to see this being done. Now, could it be that this is inside this 3? Could it be that we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? It could be, right? And that means that I would have to secure this wave maybe somewhere up here or maybe a little bit higher. All the projections that I have are kind of out of this chart, right? So if I take any measured moves, they've been completely blown through by the strong move, which means that this wave 3, it's an extended wave, and it's a pretty powerful wave, right? So if it's over, we'll find out soon. I don't think it's going to go a whole lot higher, but let's not guess. Let's wait for it to finish, and then we should be pulling back in a wave 4. Now, this wave 4, because this wave 2 was, sharp and small, I think this wave 4 would be maybe a little bit larger and a little bit more complex. It could be that this wave 3 finishes here. Let's say that we already had a 4 somewhere down here. This is 5, or about to finish 5, and that would create the top of this wave 3. Okay, and then we're going to put into a larger 4, And if you look at the size of this 4, would kind of have to match the size of this 2, or maybe, you know, a little bit bigger. And since this wave 2 it's a zigzag, by the guidelines of alternation, this wave 4 it should be a complex wave. So either a triangle here, or maybe some sort of a flat before we resume higher. Okay, so that's why I don't want to get cute and calling this the top. And there shouldn't be a habit in calling tops and bottoms. There's a process, and you know, you can kind of get ready for it, but it's the market is just not going to hand you a top, right? It's not going to, you're not going to be able to pick and just say, okay, this is the top and now we're selling off. So they will test it and test it numerous times, and you know, try to drag you along and maybe, you know, move sideways for a little bit. So let's see what happens here. But kind of this is what my thought process is. If I go back on daily, there is not a whole lot of resistance until we move up towards 6,200, 6,300 area, right? So maybe that's where this top of wave 3 will end. And this blue wave 3, right? You have a 3 here that's about to finish, let's assume, and then you have another 5-wave move up, 5th wave move up to complete this 3. Then we're probably going to pull back in a 4 and then do another one. So we are in a kind of a bullish development, and we're going to stay with it until proven wrong. Okay, so just to kind of make a quick note about the candles, and if you've been watching some of the other videos, I've taken a look. I don't know if it was the video that I just did about the Bitcoin or the ones that we just did the update. You watch the size of these candles, and I said this is not looking impulsive, and it's very small, and the volume is, and somewhere here something is going to break, and we're gonna have a massive move, right? So this is how you kind of try to read the candles when you have a very small you know, cluster of candles without a lot of movement. You know something big is about to happen. All the other signs were pointing upwards, and this was just another analysis that would kind of add to our arsenal of studies that would say, okay, this is going to go up. So you can see the big bullish candle. Now, will this be it? And now we're going to go back to something like this? I don't think so. I think once this move starts, it's going to take a while to stop it, right? It's like a train, you know, that's heavy and it's loaded and it moves on the tracks, and you know, you can't just stop it just like that, right? Maybe not the best example, but you get what I mean. So I think this is going to, you know, I think this is going to keep going, and it's going to have maybe pick up even more steam, right? So, but let's see how it develops. Let's see what the next week will bring. This week will be over here in a couple of days, right? 2 days. I know, you know, we trade to Saturdays and Sundays, but let's see if the market just kind of fills and gets more orders, and we'll see what happens next. But the next level of you know, heavy resistance is this 6,400, where we had the break into that final wave down. All right, so this is what I'm watching right now. 1, 2, we're in the middle of a large tree. This could get pretty big, maybe followed by a 4th wave, and then up to complete the 5th wave. And then we'll get possibly a larger pullback before we resume higher. All right, so for right now, signs are bullish. Litecoin, very strong, very, very strong, even stronger than Bitcoin, I think. So, you know, I've had the wave 3 here. It's it kind of blew through my targets. You have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. What do you get? You get a huge move up. On the candle chart, I think this obviously will look extremely strong. This is a daily chart. Let's go on a weekly. We are at 93. Top in Litecoin was at 405 a couple of years ago, right, in 2017. We've broken this massive trend line, and the market is rallying. So where is it going to stop? I don't know. And we got to wait for the market to tell us, okay? There's no reason of being cute and trying to call the top. And if you get pullbacks to buy into, that's something to discuss. But for right now, this thing is moving strong. Ethereum, maybe not as strong as the others. You can see you have a small triangle here, possibly a wave 4 to complete this wave 3, which again, it was blown out. So let's see what happens on the candles here as well. Higher, we have, more room to run. So if you look over at Litecoin, which is sort of a leader in this move, you can kind of, tell that Ethereum is lacking and it can start to go, even above 200, maybe above 250. But this level here where we broke down from to 12, it could be a very good target. Ripple, son of a gun, it went up. So that is good. I was able to, re-enter and, make a few tricks here, made some profits, but, I'm still long on it. So let's see what happens. I do like Ripple. I think if you watch my previous videos, I was talking a lot about this candle here, right? We got a little chopped here and I got a little scared, but this proved to be correct. So when you see something like this, lesson, note, trust it, because if you have a follow through for the next couple of days, you will get a strong move out of it. So this inverted hammer here proved to be correct, and the market is rallying. And there is no way of saying where Ripple would go, but I think it's got quite a good potential, especially after this strong wave. You have this pullback, a lot of sideways consolidation. The break is clearly upwards, and these candles could get bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, so Binance, it's slow, right? It's kind of giving us, it's been giving us hints of strength, underlying strength into cryptos, but it didn't have as strong of a move as the others. And I don't know what to make of it, but for right now, it's in a bullish trend. All right, so that's all I got for today. Let's talk later. Hit that like button, sorry, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys later. See what else develops. All right, but for now, looks like bullish.